Всем снова добро.
We are exalted above all others.
Death is at hand!
Back on my feet again.
Так, ну это было легко. Так. Так вот все, нынешнее. Да, играйте на совсем не действия.
viciously.
You don't have a leg to stand on.
Fast and furious! Seven have mercy on your soul!
Да. Ай.
good as a new penny. I'm fading fast. My heart beats too slowly to sustain me.
I've spotted a trap.
Да, печально, что-то как-то все работает. Рановато, пока рановато, не будем мучиться.
Peace be with you, traveller. May your lost loved ones rest in peace. I once lived a prosperous life. With my husband and our happy little Lonnie never recovered from the loss. And when a group of mercenaries, predators, more aptly called, came to, she were killed less than a week after she joined. Here she lies. Rest in peace, darling.
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
May the seven keep you.
The sun is out. And yet, Oh, how nice it is of you. The very picture of youth. To break the monotony of an elder's day. Wild... Oh, pray, let me be forward with you. Oh, sapling rose, I am but an aged elf that has seen the years. You would listen to my grievances. guide me towards untroubled realms. Oh, you are truly a one. Hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the king.
Rawr! That is, how can I help you, my friend? I am on the trail, Source Hunter.
Sigurd's beard, what a find!
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much. I just concern myself with giving the remains a sheep? That's a whole heap of no. I suppose you're right. A corpse is one thing, but I couldn't. I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlour, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden. My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the poor... Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights wondering who could have wanted that cadaver and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to... It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something... Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind, and this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband. And I've seen her. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched. Lured me outside, claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it. Well, with all the troubles plaguing Sicil, I suppose us natives ought to put our finest feet forward. Here.
The dead man is nervous as a squirrel. I'm certain he's hiding something.
Wargraf seems nervous as a squirrel himself. Corpse houses, as he tends to call mortuaries, give him the creeps, or so he explains in an unsteadily written note.
You...
Missed!
Rawr!
That is...
Ну, обидно получилось. Не хотелось мне это повторять. Надо почаще хранить.
No one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I...
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant
Come now! I'll be good for it, I swear! Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice? So what do you think?
Everyone needs a hand now and then.
Sure, everyone needs a...
Ethics are fine in theory, but
I never would have expected the finest horse hunter in the land to encourage thievery. Your judgment is the gold standard, you know.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
all right, we'll do it your way.
I suppose you've... fed a hungry man, you know.
That thief is free for thank you. That thief is free for now. But I wonder how long it'll be until he's
Heavenly herring. Delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold each.
What are ye staring at? Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little no scallywags.
Red and orange, yellow
Well,
and green.
what sort of
Sicil's ever seen.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
To the size of this fine
Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. An excuse is more home than the size of this fine woman there.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice and stir and churn. Join the spud club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Aim straight. Aim true. Arrows by the dozens.
Toe of snake, wing of
Ah,
worm.
hello, I'm a pet. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps. Like this rooster I'm working on now.
Delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold.
Sauce hunters, eh? If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing. Now that the herd's gone, old Birchie's just scratching by like a hen till the next... That louse! Did he even bother grilling a single...
Yours for a scrap of gold. Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice and stir and churn. Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero the whole of Sicil is abuzz about. The talk of the town, the juicy... No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is an intervention of fate. Yes, that's it. Mendius, at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But they call the undead a problem, my friend. But those who know the ways of the Fabulous Five see no problems. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become...
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Quite right.
See here. You and I share the same passion. I never doubted it for a moment. Too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense.
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Really?
Well, don't quarrel about it on my account. Still, if a matter is to... Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety? Without spice? To be a sauce...
It's better to lead than to...
Better to be...
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life... And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the king. Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlong. You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. What a gem of a question. Straight as a... Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority, a community. The title of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate by now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. Work hard. Of course.
Join a guild. Better the world. Earn...
You'd fall for this foolish...
I've always wanted to join a real guild. Indulge...
I'm not going to join some freak show, and neither are you.
Oh, you think you can speak that way to us? Well, suffice to say, I've got my eyes.
Ain't a big cheese on your book for the well of the good stuff.
No, we'll do as I say, and there's an...
Marvelous. Magnificent. What... Oh, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Ahu is his name, and he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a... But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north. Luckily, there are those in this world who belong... Whatever happened to that?
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns
I'll thank
myself
you to leave me
with
be, you old rat.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, my door. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you. Medora's the name. Retired, or so the order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand... Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. See, I'm here on... well, let's call it a loan from a town. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, by the skin of my teeth, comrade, The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles. But, well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my... I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the... I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help. But it seems you've got all the help you need, haven't you? More's the pity. We could have beheaded up more than I'd hoped, comrade. I don't know what in tarnation's gotten into the townsfolk here, but there's enough dark There's Mayor Cecil's doings, for one, and the mysteries of our master Thale. And on top of it all, the feline menace is lurking at every heart. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the mayor's a decent sort, but from what I've heard whispered around the docks, the old guy's got, I suspect, an illegal sauce artifact or substance is at the root of it, but exactly what or who's given it to him, I can't say. And since I haven't technically been assigned to Sicil, fella seems like a humble doctor, but I bet my sword he's dealing in something dark. A loose-lipped fishmonger let slip that she'd seen our good doctor scale the city wall on 2 separate occasions. Well past hardly the habit of an innocent healer, I'd say. You mean you don't already know, comrade?
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have. Like our noble cap. It's very tragic news. I won't I am...
The fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge.
Fortune! Ha! He should be so lucky as to be...
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, and my word, what passion burns from your eyes. Please forgive my being forward, but that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, source. Yes, you must join the... So you've joined up. You've sworn... I can finally offer you our finest adventuring equipment. Well, you must be thrilled to find yourself... I hear you've been tasked with taking out that crazed robot and... Oh, darling. Well, you are a member of the eminent Fabulous Five, after all.
Oh, my good man. Drink if you please.
Please do keep shouting.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?
I'll thank you to leave me be.
Oh, you think you can speak that way? Well, suffice to say it, I've got my eye on
Sorry, I've run out of sign handkerchief. What do you mean? Why? I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too. And don't forget, I'm the most you'll be dealing with Ahu's little abomination. Well, if I don't leave a few crumbs for the newbies, those nasty Well, well.